Another loss. Don't even know what to say anymore. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another match review. This is Everton 2, Chelsea 0. And yeah, I'm not in a good mood after watching that match. It's another loss for Chelsea. 3 away defeats in a row, 2 back-to-back defeats. Chelsea slide down into the bottom half of the table as well. And it just wasn't a good match. So I'm going to talk about what's going on with Chelsea. What can we expect? What should be the expectations for the future? Is there anything that we can do now? And my honest thoughts on the situation, because yeah, it's really sad. And I think the sad thing is that, well, like, yeah, I'm sad and it's disappointing, but the losses don't even hit me as much as they used to, because I've just grown accustomed to losing and to struggling against these sides. Everton away is always a really difficult match for whatever reason, but I was just left disappointed yet again in the Chelsea team's performance, and it's just another frustrating match. So let's get into it. I will share my screen. And to start off, let's, as always, just take a look at the starting 11. And one of the big talking points here is Reece James, who came off injured after just 27 minutes. And you have to wonder what's going on with Reece James. He was apparently pulled for a hamstring injury, and this is super worrying to me. I don't know why he's playing if he has the potential to be injured. Whose call is that? Is it Poch's call? Is it the medics team call? Like, are we not catching that he's not ready? Is he pushing himself? I don't know. And it's super frustrating because when he's fit, he's one of Chelsea's best players and one of the best right backs in the world. But also, he's Chelsea's captain, and he's just missing way too many games through injury. So I don't know what he needs. I don't know if he needs a surgery and if that's going to fix it. But honestly, at this point, if he did need surgery, I would say he should just, I mean, I'm no medical professional. Who am I to say? But it just seems like he has to go ahead and make a long-term fix, because just from the outside, it seems like there's a lot of these short-term fixes on Reece James, and then he's back for a couple of games, and then he's out injured again. And I can't even imagine how draining that must be for him, both mentally and physically, to come back, think that he's ready. It's his dream to play for Chelsea. It's his dream to be the Chelsea captain, and then to constantly be having to fight against injury and have such like an up and down season, and that must be so incredibly tough. So do want to support Reece James. I think that we need to do whatever he needs in order to make sure that he's fit and with us. And yeah, don't have much else to say for Reece James, but super frustrating that Chelsea's captain and vice captain now are constantly out injured. And I think that goes into a larger theme of Chelsea just not having much leadership in the team. It's a very young side. Average age was just 23 point something years old today versus Everton's 28 point something. And so there's a lot of inexperience in this side. And I think that you see that we don't have that necessary out and out leader. We don't have somebody like an Aspilicueta, like a John Terry, even like a Gary Cahill, who is phenomenal as well. And you really see that. Like, I feel that this team is lacking a lot of tenacity. And that was especially shown on the first goal that Everton scored from Decore, that yet again, Chelsea just kind of got caught in no man's land. Disasi was like holding off of the Everton player, and then Cowell didn't shut down. I think it was Decore either, and so it just feels like Chelsea aren't fighting. We aren't showing like a grit and determination. We're not like going the extra mile for the balls. We're not shutting down players. We see it especially with set pieces, and I think that this is why we concede so many goals from set pieces, because we're not fighting for the first balls or the second balls. And so it's just overall a super frustrating performance. I'm trying to think of some positive, like you see some like green players in there. I thought Sanchez made a couple of good saves. There was absolutely nothing that he could do on Everton's. Well, there was nothing that he could do on Everton's first goal. The second goal was just more poor defending. Obviously, he had come off at that point. So I thought he was okay. I thought Palmer was okay. He got into positions. He took a couple of long shots. I thought that Mudryk actually made some good runs down that left-hand side. But again, it just feels like going forward, we could have had 200 minutes, and it just felt like one of those days where we wouldn't have scored. We just aren't clinical. I just don't know where the goals are going to come from in this team. Nobody really looks like scoring, and that's super, super frustrating. We need players to step up. We don't have a player that you think is going to score even 10 plus goals in a season, let alone 15, 20, which is what we had when we had the likes of Diego Costa and Eden Hazard. So I don't know where the goals are going to come from. It just felt like we were passing along, and you could see the grit and determination that Everton had, and how they were defending, and how every time that they made a block or an interception or a tackle, it was as if they scored a goal because they were defending for their lives. They had a 10-point deduction. They're only 6 points behind Chelsea now. Honestly, with the rate that they're going, I wouldn't be surprised to see them finish above us in the table. And I just want to see more of that. And taking a look at just a couple of key stats here, you can see Chelsea freaking down to 12th in the Premier League. Worrying times. And taking a look at the stats, Chelsea 72% possession, but what is possession if you do nothing with it? Everton scored the 2 goals, 9 shots, 5 on target. I can't speak today. We only had 4 on target. They had 2 big chances. We didn't even have 1 big chance. Like I said, it just looked like we really were not creating anything. If you look at the top stats, all of the attacking stats are from Decore. Total shots. Oh, look at that. Cole Palmer topping the list with 5 shots, 2 shots on target. Enzo Fernandez also had 2 shots, 1 on target. Let's look at passing, for example. Expected assists, Mikhailo Mudryk topping with 0.28. He had 5 chances created. He also topped the list. And Conor Gallagher, well, Disasi, 16 passes into the final third. That's a bit surprising for me. Then Conor Gallagher, Caicedo. So you see, we're passing into the final third, but then the problem just comes when we try to get past the final third. Yeah, Chelsea haven't kept a clean sheet. I think it's been more than 5 matches. I don't know. That seems wrong to me. But I do want to take a moment just to talk about Chelsea and where do I see us going from here, because I've seen a lot of people calling for Poch out, and I really have to say, I don't think that is going to do anything for this Chelsea team. I really don't, because we have seen this problem since 2021. We even saw these problems creeping in when Tuchel was at the end of his reign. I know people don't like to remember it, but we had lost quite a few games in a row under Tuchel as well, and it looks like we were just kind of struggling to score goals. Then, of course, under Potter, we struggled. Under Lampard, again, we struggled. And now we're struggling under Poch. We have seen signs. Nobody wants to hear this. We have seen signs of a good team. Like, we did fantastic versus Man City. There are signs of that team in there. But my thing is that we've completely, torn apart our starting 11. We have a whole new batch of players. They're all extremely young. And your most experienced players are Reece James, who's constantly out injured, maybe Ben Chilwell, who's also constantly out injured, and Raheem Sterling. He didn't even start today. And anybody else that's more experienced? No, I don't think so. Well, Thiago Silva. He also rested today. So you have an extremely young core who's going to be inconsistent as a young player, but instead of having 1 or 2 young players in your team, you have 8, 9, 10 young players at any given time. So there are these inconsistencies. I don't think firing Poch is going to change that. I think whatever manager like were to take this Chelsea job, they're going to have these struggles. So for me personally, I'd rather just stick with Poch and see what happens and give it a year, 2 years. We saw with the project with Arsenal that they finished eighth, I think, 2 seasons in a row before they started seeing some progress as well. There's been so much uprooting and turmoil in Chelsea. And I just think that we kind of need to like cool it, not buy any more players. We don't need any more players. Maybe a goalkeeper, and go from there and just try to build momentum with the players that we have. So I don't think sacking Poch is going to do anything. I don't think that Chelsea are going to achieve much this season. Even next season, maybe. It sucks to say. It sucks that we're in a rebuild. I know that people don't want to hear it. We want that instant gratification. We want to be winning games. We want to be the Chelsea that we've been for the last 1 to 2 decades. But the reality is, we're just not there right now. And that's a really harsh pill to swallow. But personally, I'm tired of changing managers. I just want to give Poch time and see it through. We've seen positives. Today was a really, really negative, but I really feel that any manager that comes in is going to struggle. And I just want to try to build something. If we see in 2, 3 years that's still not working, okay, that's my personal take. No, it's not. I know like most people aren't going to agree with it. That's okay. But that's just how I feel about it. So yeah, those are basically all of my thoughts post Everton. Yeah, what do you guys think about the match, about Chelsea, about what's going on? What would you guys do? Let me know down in the comments. Keep subbing to the channel. Really appreciate all of the love that you guys have been showing it recently. So even if it's just for the FPL videos, which are the only ones that I think we're like getting joy out of with the way that things are going at the moment. But thank you so much again. And yeah, hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, I'm out. Bye.